choking on swamp water. And yet, up through the pungency, there rise complex, meaty notes. It takes a moment to recover from such an onslaught of flavors, but never have I tasted anything so fine. Thank you, Sid. Thank you.
You're, welcome.
I must share this gift. I won't rest until a steaming bowl of Chance's stew sits before everyone in the hideaway. A single mouthful, and Molly will be breeding scorpions of her own.
I'm sure she will.
Well, that was certainly not.
Sid. Should I be worried?
Jill, Clive has told me much about you.
All lies, I'm sure.
Your Stolas said that Dalamil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although, you're a little late. They left with our food and guild days ago.
Any idea where they went?
The desert's a big place. Your guess is as good as mine. But the fact is, I have more immediate concerns.
What did you say to me? What did you say?
Ah, as if by magic. Let's just say we've yet to reach a consensus about how to solve Dalamil's little problem. And at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing. It will be our own. Now, I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the Desert Hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to us?
What makes you think they won't?
She makes a fair point, Sid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail. They're just across the courtyard.
Suppose we just follow the shouting.
Fucking You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. Blood for blood, it's the only way. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandit's ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough. Both of you. Any more of this and I'll throw you out myself. Come back when you're ready to talk like adults.
Victor. What's he doing here?
Sid. And Lady Jill. What brings you here?
I was about to ask you this.
Costness is in chaos, and the markets have all but ceased to operate. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalamil is the only place I can reliably... I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. And the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costness. It's these accursed skies. The darkness is enough to drive a man to madness. Or an entire city, for that matter.
We're still working on the skies. But in the meantime, perhaps we can find a solution to Dalamil's problems.
I hope so. For all our sakes.
People take notice of wealthy men. Shouldn't be too hard to track down Karen's collector.
So,
What I saw was a room full of... but if left to smolder.
my thoughts exact. Both sides wish to protect their homes.
And if there's one thing bandits...
What would Sid the Outlaw suggest?
Well, if it were my namesake, he'd let them choose for themselves. And be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A recipe for... While it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie, it may still be possible to make them doubt their own. Before
And that would be?
to pool our resources and save the city ourselves. Why fight each other?
When all that fear and anger can be directed at the bandits.
It appears we have a plan of action. Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't convince...
As you wish.
Don't worry, Victor and I will do most of the talk.
Play along.
What he means to say...
Haven't we had enough fighting?
My reputation will be ruined!
Calm yourself, Lord Ig...
Pardon the intrusion, but...
Out! Get out! I paid for these...
Please. His lordship is going through it.
Radim!
Very good. Would you mind stepping up?
I'm sorry if I've caused you...
That? No, no, no. He has been dispossessed of his...
I don't suppose a certain blade was a single-edged sword.
Ah,
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac.
you have but to state it.
I want an audience with Lord Ignac.
A condition I would be a fool to refuse.
I don't suppose you saw where the thieves went.
I did not, no. Every ill-gotten coin in Dalam.
And that's where I'm heading.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence.
That will be very kind of you.
Farewell. Picture it, Conrad. Is she, Conrad? May I introduce you to Jane, commander of the Red Wings, the oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is all mine.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canver to inquire about a...
Victor says that there aren't any men left to hire.
True as the crystal. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. You know of the 7 high houses. Granted, we have a few boys left.
Well, Conrad, are you saying that Dalamil's finest cannot defend this town better? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you call the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you
I'm ruined. My shop.
If I had my pickaxe, I would...
I mean, it may still be possible to buy something. Ah, here he is now. Natalie, allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of...
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill.
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but...
Indeed, certain. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than... And while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our... Which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure what... If our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow, we must stand united.
All right. If it will help to protect my home, I'll do it. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Thank you, Clive.
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good. Now, my scouts should be returning...
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Mummy, I'm scared.
Good news, Sid. Both Conrad and Natalie have somewhat gracefully accepted their new roles. With time, they may even learn to...
Time no longer appears to be the luxury it was before lunch.
I take it your scouts found the bandits.
Technically, it would be the bandits who found my scouts. It appears they march for Dalamil as we speak. All of them.
You're not serious.
They don't just want food, they want the whole damn town.
I have a favor to ask. I'm told the bandits march in 2 groups. One...
Very well.
The rest, my friend, the city shall fight. Mistakes I concede are...
That is a lot of...
Then it will be for us to see that their hand...
I thought you might say...
We'll hold them off for as long as we can.
And we will do the same.
The folk have come to welcome us.
I'll take that one.
It's all yours.
They mean to overwhelm us.
Muhammad!
townspeople.
I don't hear any fighting.
That we should hurry.
You did well out there.
Without you, there would have... You saved us.
We all said.
Conrad seems to have had a change.
I'd say they both...
I take it from your presence that,
The plan worked. Granted, it only took an army.
Calm now, Victor. Why? We are unite. As for you...
I'll take that as a compliment.
I've never even forged a butter knife before.
I wouldn't put it...
Oh, wait, sorry. I'm Saver, soon to be former. People are buying up weapons for... He wants me to make a carving knife, one that embodies the spirit of Dalimil. I don't suppose you have it.
I'm afraid not.
Never mind. Thought I'd ask.
I could give you a... I know how busy the
I'd be a...
So, where do we start?
Good question. If I'm honest. And then there's this little riddle.
The way I see it, there's only one way we'll be... We need information.
You're right. Now, there's plenty of folk in Dalimil. There's the butcher, of course, and they're bound to have an opinion or two about the tools. All right. I'll talk to every cook I can find. You speak to the butcher, and anyone else you can think of.
All right. Good luck.
Let's hope that someone says something useful.
Trust Lubor to take a simple test and turn it into a riddle. I'd better get to it.
Go on, just...
What's the matter?
I'd go and look for him myself, loath though I am.
I'll see what
I wouldn't be surprised if he was on.
All right.
Welcome, sir.
A question. I need to know what makes a good carving knife.
You a blacksmith or something?
Something.
Fair enough. No, first and foremost, give me a blade which can slice through anything that crosses my chopping.
So a knife that stays...
Mummy.
The gentleman of the town.
Everything I've worked for. All those years of talk.
Are you all right?
The baths are closed. On second thought,
That depends on the job.
I'd have you save my business, the baths. I've no doubt that my woes, but I can't go. I'm bound to these baths.
All right. I'll go and take a look.
Wonderful. Leave the market, these baths, or all my livelihood, my...
The baths are, closed for...
What is it?
Sorry.
Hunter?
I have a question.
Has to be able to put up with some punishment. If your knife snaps every time you use it, you'll be spent.
Thank you.
All business, eh?
So, a carving knife should be hard-wearing and hold an edge. Hardly a revelation. Let's hope Sava had better luck than I did. Ready, girl? Yeah!
What the hell are those things?
By the flames. That explains the heat. Nice try. Not good. I'll be fine Fire and flame! Out of the frying pan. I needed that. Let's cool things down a bit. Let's hope it's enough to keep the baths from boiling. Fly, Ambrosia.
safe.
My blade yet hungers, and so do I. Come, let us feast on your flesh.
Your feasting days are over. Too slow. Those who kill for sport deserve no better.
Excuse me.
What do you want?
The baker sent me to find...
I am certainly not a baker.
Time was the sight of the...
I take it you missed the Mother Crystal.
I hated her, but she was all I knew. I had to trade my pickaxe for a rolling. She was the only thing that could fill the hole inside me. But now she's gone. What am I supposed to do? I ask her.
Perhaps you could express yourself in your work. If you miss the Fang, maybe you could recapture it somehow.
Recapture it? I'm a baker, not a... You know, you might just be right. I have to get back to the bakery, right?
Wait. Suppose he won't be needing an escort then.
Faster!
So, you learn anything you...
Only that a blade should be durable and stay sharp. But I don't see how that relates to the spirit of Dalamil.
I didn't have much luck either. All the cook said was that he needs his nut too heavy and...
So we're no better off than when we started. Perhaps Lubor didn't mean it, but that can't be right. No. We must be missing...
No doubt you're right. I have to make a start soon.
Agreed.
Right. Trouble is, meaning some...
Is there no one else you can turn to?
The other apprentice, a merchant, a favourite of Forge Master Lubor's, who sells metals to tradesmen. I bet she'd know a thing or two.
Dalamil's safe.
Though I worry you might have stoked...
Master, it's ready. Behold the Drake's Balm. A truly unique creation.
I dare say it is.
Just look at it. A perfect likeness of the Fang, her steepled peaks, her falsoms. True, my loaves collapse more often than not, but what's... And look, inside. She's filled to... Master, I have found my purpose.
Well, if it tastes off as you... not only is my apprentice back, but he's finally pulling his weight. I don't know how you did it. Now, Dusan, I know you're keen, but do you have to use the good salt? Leave some for the rest of us.
Sorry, Master. I'll go and get some more later.
Mummy?
The gentleman of the town
There he
guard
is.
was strapped.
The man I was hoping would be... The baths grow more...
I'm glad to...
Now.
Not what I expected, that's for certain.
You tell her... That's not to say I don't believe you, but I burdened you with my... Right. It's...
Now, Dusan, I know you're keeping...
The bandits, maybe.
You fought very bravely.
The safety of the town is in our hands.
Come on. I can walk from here.
Be safe.
Any luck?
What I asked her?
If you're looking to make a knife that will impress, they're just not that viable. Featherlight adamantite knives will get passed from, but adamantite ore is unique to ash, so doesn't come.
And it...
Unique to ash. Are there any materials unique?
What are you getting at?
You said that Lubor trained, but he would have known that it would either be too heavy or
If it's cheap metal you're using, then there's always limes. Folk first settled Dalimil to get at her mineral deposits. And if you...
Bloody hell! I don't suppose...
It's hardly my speciality.
Looks like I've got some learning to do. Clive, I hate to ask after all that you've done for me.
limestone. Besides,
you'll have no trouble finding...
Then I suppose...
Right you are. Oh, do you crush it up?
Ready, girl? Run like the wind.
No holding back.
Let there be light! To me, Flames! Good girl. Fly, Ambrosia.
Time to fight.
We've got company! Come on, lads, let's tear the bastard's head off!
Nice try.
This must be Ignac's luggage. Nothing seems to be damaged. All right.
I hear I have you to thank for the return of my effects. What shall I call you, my...
Wyvern.
A formidable... Well, Wyvern. Redeem here tells me you wished for an audience.
A few moments.
You're
A Master Wyvern.
Oh, true. Karen drove me hard on the price, but I would have sold... It was made in the... and is used exclusively by the practitioners of a unique... They believe no combat should ever exceed a single strike, and that each sword is made for that one perfect... There's a brutal sort of beauty to it, really.
But how do they hone such an...
Why, they use a whetstone, of course. Whetstones, rather. A whole array of them ranging, but it is the a mineral quite foreign to this great realm. And that is the... Wyvern, it occurs to me that my little lecture is hard. Take this, together with my regards. The very stone of which I spoke, far rarer among collectors than even the blade itself. And a far more.
Thank you.
Pardon the intrusion.
I am locked in bitter competition whether I am one step ahead of the others.
There are many other collectors out there.
Too many to count, but only one do I consider my nemesis. Lord Byron Rosfield, and is a
I can imagine.
Farewell, Wyvern. Redeem! We mustn't dawdle.
I think his lordship is rather taken with you. Coming, my lordship. I'll be right there.
Trust Uncle Byron to find such an interesting rival now. Let's see what Blackthorn makes of this whetstone chip.
If all of us continue to work together and defend the town...
Now, Dusan, I know you're keen, but do you...
gentlemen of the town guard.
One rock looks a lot like another. But hopefully this is what Sava needs.
Now, Dusan, I know you're...
Dalimil's saved, and with our steel. Those bandits were on the receiving end.
I wasn't sure how much you'd need, but I hope this isn't...
You are one of the good ones, you know that? You and that merchant both, she's got quite a gift for teaching that one. Now, time to see if limestone is the secret weapon we were hoping for. A knife forged.
It's a fine look.
That sounds like my cue.
I'm sorry, Forge Master.
Let's take a look then. First things first. What do I... It's sharp, and it's heavy. You might not think it just to hold it for a moment. It looks like someone paid a visit to the terraces. The limestone was...
And I was so certain
I don't know who you found. Next question. How much do you think I would charge if I...
Well, if it took you even a fraction of the time it took me, I would say you could demand a heavy purse.
And who would be able to pay that? Hmm? The butcher? The hunter? The cooks over at the inn? Dalimil is home to humble traders, not wealthy lords and ladies. Rule number 1 in any business, Sava: know your customers.
Yes, Forge Master.
This is just about passable. But only just. I'd say you're worth keeping around a little longer. Starting tomorrow, you'll have an anvil of your own.
I will. What would you do?
I'd do what I always do. Ask who it's... If it was for the butcher, I'd make sure it holds an edge. For the hunter, for the cook, light as a feather. And for the
There goes a master.
It looks like congratulations.
I couldn't have done it without so much for the Forge Master's riddle, though, eh? The spirit of Dalim. Meaning, I had you run around for no good reason.
You've passed your test.
And when I do, I'll... Dalimil's saved.
Sorry for that, but hopefully...
You learned something about that sword?
I did better than that.
Hey, a whetstone?
Yes.
No wonder I couldn't get the same finish on the grinding wheel. One hit and all done, eh? Might not be so bad if all you ever fought were duels. Good luck on the battlefield. Your second opponent would be your last, no matter how good you were.
Even so?
I think so, yeah. With this whetstone and the... But there'd be no replacing this little rock once... I reckon we get a dozen swords that the curse breakers wouldn't know how to wield properly. And, no point trying to cop up. Finishing our blades with a weapon, what's finer than fallen masonry, eh? Or more hardware, just imagine it. Good Valesthian steel with an edge as sharp as any found in the outer... I won't make a copy, nah.
I'm sure the curse break just...
I've been working day and night. Hey, I owe you one. August.
You'll be happy to hear.
And I'll see that my debt to you. You come and find me when you've got...
All right.
What do you want? And?
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. You're rubbing me blind, you know. It'd better all be here. Is that all?
It seems the hideaway is lost its appetite.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into time?
see that?
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Come to claim your just desserts? Here you are. All yours. Best of luck out there, Sid.
First we find Isabel.
Heard a bloke saying he saw ghosts on the far side of the wall.
I saw it with my own eyes. The whole of... Oriflamme under a flag.
Four left for more on the captain's orders. Only 2 came back. God help us.
I can't do it.
My lord,
We received the dames. There have been sightings.
with the blue eyes. They've taken so many.
Akashic.
And what of your mistress?
Oh, no.
Then we'll look for her.
More arrived from the capital this morning.
The 2 soldiers were carrying another.
Madame, please!
Half the garrison's been slaughtered by the...
We've tried requesting reinforcements, but there's been no word from the capital or the What more would you have us do?
I would have you do your duty, and protect them I shall. In case you have forgotten, but more than that, they are your people, your sisters, so you have a choice. Lay down your sword and watch as they are slaughtered, or take it up and do what is right.
She speaks the truth, you know. This here, it's all we have. It's all that's left.
What we have left is our lives. Do you really want us to lose them as well?
Not if we don't have to. Look, there's a cask under the captain's bunk. Let's talk about this over a drink, eh? I'll have a word with her.
Ah, Clive. I didn't expect help to arrive so quickly. And sought to take matters into my own hands.
It was a noble effort, but I thought you might still need some support.
How like you to consider. The way the survivors speak of them, one would think they appeared out of thin air. And perhaps they did.
Well... You're a pikeman, yes?
I've got family in Moor. I heard the flood was spreading, so... And a pack of them glowing...
Leave that to us.
My family.
Me paw.
Did you see the creatures that attacked you?
Creatures? Yeah, they came out of nowhere.
Do you remember where you were?
On the road from Oriflamme. We just passed.
It's all right. At least we have an idea of where the thralls might be now. We should head for more.
You saw those soldiers.
I assume you have a plan?
We need to find out what we're facing.
It was all they could do to escape. They just left the bodies there in the flood.
Come on. Run like the wind.
Clive, look.
I see them. With me!
Should I prime?
Save your strength.
Do you think there are more?
There are always more. But I'd say we've done what we can for the time being. You have the town's thanks.
Don't thank us yet. There will be more. Many more. And you'll need to be ready for them.
Oh, we shall. Isn't that right, Captain?
Yes, milady. The garrison will be ready.
Philippe here has convinced most of the men to remain at their posts. For now, at least.
Hearing that the Dane would look kindly on any man who committed himself to the task certainly didn't hurt. It's not the most selfless of motives, I'll admit. But whatever it takes, eh? Now me, I never needed convincing. I became a soldier to protect the people I love. And the people I love include the ones standing before me.
Handsome and chivalrous.
Now, if you don't mind, I have sentries to post. Milady.
Lest you wonder, I'm not foolish enough to believe that this has solved all of my problems. But it has solved one. And that's one fewer than I had this morning. Thank you again, Clive.
Our friends seem to have things under control. For now, at least. Let's go and put Otto's mind at rest.
Those things I said before. There were ghosts at the gate.
Let's hope the Draper has Hortense's cloth.
Might I interest you in some swansdown? Perhaps some seersucker? Or herringbone?
Just some linen. 2 bolts. Already paid for in full.
Apologies, my lord, but your items aren't here. They were due to arrive on a caravan from Bocklad, but there's been little traffic on the road these past few days. My mother thinks it might be bandits, but she always thinks it's bandits.
It usually is. So I assume the caravan will be coming from the south.
Yes, hopefully carrying all manner of spice and sundries. Wait, you aren't thinking of...
Going to find it. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Oh. Well then, be safe.
That damn bird's a menace! Who's gonna buy my wares now? State your animals
Is there something wrong?
If you're a bandit, come to steal my stuff.
But it was...
Only after that featherbrain, I demand recompense.
These goods are expected...
You wouldn't happen to be on your way from Bocklad, would...
Someone from the market sent...
So the fool has... Oi! Killer!
I told you not to call me that. And we'd have already collected if you hadn't insisted we'd put on this little act.
Bandits!
As I told one of your customers, it usually is. Let's get this over with.
I'll deal with the bird lover. You take the handsome one, killer.
Stop calling me that!
Fire and blade!
All right. You made your point.
Did he hurt you?
No, thankfully. He seemed intent on letting the bandit do his dirty work. My shipment is...
We can speak of that once you're safe in North.
So, you and my mum...
And were it not for the kindness of our free sword, it... Now, it...
Oh, I almost forgot. I suppose you'll be wanting your linen. You'll be happy to know both bolts arrived safely along with the rest of the delivery. I've also added a few extra lengths of our finest fabrics to the bundle. Free of charge.
Are you sure?
My mother would insist. It's the least we can do for the man who saved our shipment.
How's that done, then? Now it's back to Hortense with her cloth.
There were ghosts at the gates not days ago.
Good day to you. Sid.
If we've no crystals to keep the cats cold, then we had to dig a new cellar.
Ah, Clive. Your timing is exquisite, as always. I have a concern which you may be able to assist me with.
Go on.
There are whisperings afoot, rustlings in the underground. It may be no more than a surfeit of... Given what I hope you'll forgive me calling...
Of course.
Excellent. You might begin by speaking with the good...
All right.
Hello, Sid. Take a seat where you like.
Could there be any truth to the rumors, do you think?
I don't doubt that people heard or saw something. As to what it was, there's only one way to find out.
Any friend of the innkeeper is a friend of mine.
hope it's to your liking. Keep fighting the good fight.
The markets in Northreach are as bare as a newborn's arse.
Do you have a moment? There's talk of suspicious...
No, but I've heard something. Sound of scraping metal, like
Where was this?
in Lorbert's Park. Was out foraging, ran back here.
I see.
We make for Lorbert's Pass, then.
Probably a good idea. Figments of the imagination don't sharpen swords. You there.
Fuck! He's seen us. Get them before they escape!
Black Shields. Here.
What are they doing?
What is it to you? What would we give a damn? All that matters to us is that you don't leave here alive.
Why would the Black Shields be here? Unless they're planning to move on Lostwing.
We need to warn Quentin.
Good day to you.
If we've no crystals to keep
Are we to dig a new cellar to stop?
Clive, how goes the hunt for our sinister figures?
I found some black
shields, though they serve another master now. One who means to root out and destroy both me and those I care for. And it would appear the pack has finally caught the scent of its prey. Damn it all. I had hoped I would have more time than this. More time to prepare. But if we are cornered, we have no choice but to bite back. And bite back we shall.
I'm sorry. You're going to need to explain. Who did the Black Shield serve now? And why would that person want you dead?
Because I want him dead.
Who?
The former Lord Chief Justice of Sanbreque. All that I have built...
I don't understand. Why him? Why Lostwing?
I suppose it is better that you know the truth. I was a member of the judiciary once. So sickened was I by the injustice of this world, I swore to fight it, and fight it I did. I saw more than a few corrupt officials condemned to the very cells into which they had thrown blameless innocent. And throughout, it was the Lord Chief Justice who backed.
So what changed?
I discovered that I was a fool to think he shared my hatred of venality and a means of ridding himself of his rival. His response, however, and he failed. I lost everything. The faith I had once held that any modicum of justice might be achieved. So I set about enacting. I tracked down every soul who served him. But the man himself proved an altogether more difficult target. With money and power come protection. And so I saw that I would need an army of my own. I came here to Lostwing and began recruiting like-minded individuals.
And everyone here knows this is why you do what you do.
Of course. They too seen faultless friends sent to the gallows to spare the guilty. All under the watchful eye of the Lord Chief Justice. Our wounds are the same. And our cause is the same. We are comrades. And our revenge is already in motion. We know where he hides, how numerous and well... What we did not...
Quentin.
Our time is short. My friends and comrades, it begins.
I'm not going to change his mind.
That his lordship's vultures should be found circling the village can mean only one thing. That he means to strike at us before we can strike at him. There is no time to lose. The final stage of our plan must be put into motion.
Clive, sorry again for sending you all that way.
Don't worry. I believe this will more than satisfy your needs.
Let's see here. What's this? I don't recall ordering any silk. If that devilet of a draper expects me to pay...
You needn't worry on that score, Hortense. They were a gift. For services rendered. I can always return them if you like.
Oh, no. Oh, there's no need to be hasty now, Clive. I'm sure I can put all three to good use. Speaking of which...
I don't know. This one?
I've a mind to give up. Did you know she's quite the little seamstress?
I know needlecraft was amongst...
Her lessons? Oh, that's right.
Not quite together, but... When my father put down the uprising in the Northern Territories, Jill was taken as a ward to ensure that her father, the Silvermane, would keep the peace.
She's an honest-to-goodness princess then, isn't she? I could tell, you know. Some people just have that air about them. Not many round here, mind. I'd offered to sew her something that might better suit her station. But she'd most likely turn me down, as she always...
Don't take it the wrong way. She certainly seems to be attached to the last outfit you made her.
Oh. Sometimes I think she never takes it off.
Or perhaps she'll make something for herself with your gift. Either way, I'm sure she won't turn it down.
We'll see, I suppose.
Lady Hortense said she...
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Was one at ours from all our friends thanking... How is it you always managed?
Luck, I suppose. Any word on the rest of the realm?
Let's see. Storm's still crying out for Mother Crystals. The nations are still in chaos.
Right.
Clive, we knew this was going to happen. Well, not the Bleeding Skies part, but you take my point. Now's not the time to second-guess yourself. Now's the time to visit the infirmary. Taya says your brother's awake.
Thank you, Otto.
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier who served as Ultima's puppet. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would have freed him. Enough to drive a man to madness.
Small wonder he hasn't stirred. I would be afraid to wake.
Had I but reached out to him sooner, warned him of the threat Ultima posed. But now, both an empire and her prince lie broken.
Joshua, what do you know of Ultima?
Very little, I'm afraid. Despite my best efforts. 18 years ago, as I lay buried beneath the rubble of Phoenix Gate, 'twas not death who came for me, but another. And it was while in my rescuer's care, I first heard of Ultima. I've been chasing his shadow ever since. Ultima is driven by some deep, dark purpose, and for whatever reason, it would seem you are crucial to his designs. He will stop at nothing to have you, even if that means toppling an empire.
But why me? What possible use could I be to such a creature?
That is one of many answers that have eluded me. Yet, I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. You were chosen for a reason. All dominants carry within them the might of an icon. Nigh limitless power that is at once acutely limited. I wield fire, and only fire.
And I only ice. 8 wardens for 8 elements. But you, Clive.
You are different. You're special. Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit. But they do not end there. The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless.
I've encountered that thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Were I to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind?
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. is why I struggle and fail to contain him here inside me.
I'm sorry. Inside you?
With every setting sun, I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost. We must find a means to bring an end to him before I meet my own.
What were you thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother.
But that doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Joshua.
Clive, it's Gav. There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
Well, what's the short of it?
It's all Tyre told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities. The city guard are doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord Byron and Mid? Were they able to escape?
No, but they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav at midship.
We have to get them out of there.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like a question for the map. Look here. This road, through Tabor, should provide the least trouble.
Good.
What a coincidence. Tabor is exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, Bed is where you should be bound.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Were Tyre not such a talented healer, I would surely have been inclined to agree. But, thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right, we travel together.
Clive.
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you, brother.
I'll look after him.
What will it be today? Allow me to educate you. The state of the realm is ever-changing, Clive.
Lady Hortense said she'd give us our dresses soon.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be...
Sid, perhaps you...
I can certainly...
It's not who
But what? I borrowed them to teach the little ones about... My first thought was that they'd taken them, which almost certainly mean...
Perhaps a visit...
I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. They were in the atrium when I last saw them.
I was wondering when next you'd visit. I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before. What subject shall we consider today? You are always welcome, Clive.
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
Here.
Are you sure it's me you're looking?
I'm all the cook will be needing. You remember Ivan's stew? So I thought I'd try making one of these supposed...
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped.
Yeah, but this is my blimmin' kitchen, and I want...
I've never... So?
A fried mortress of sky recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like myself. Only, turns out skyworm...
Ivan said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries.
Wow. That's a question for a scholar, wouldn't you say? Perhaps you know of one? Kindly old fella who haunts the shelves, maybe?
Fine. And if he does, I'll see if I can find your ingredients for you.
You do that.
What am I gonna do?
Is everything all right? You seem more...
Oh, I don't know. Oh, I think Nan might be in
It's all right.
There was a trader came by. One of our usuals, like... Folk are saying she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that. I mean, but she'd never do business with baddies. I wanted to ask her about it myself. She'd...
Don't worry.
Oh, you'll...
Of course. Lady Karen.
Not near.
You're...
What exact? Not once in 5...
just...
Oh.
All I know is...
And what? Look. But that woman is no more.
You're right, Lady Karen. It was wrong of me to doubt you.
No. I reckon you've got back.
Of course. I spoke that the rumors were unfounded, along with some other thing. And while it sounds...
Oh, I knew Nan wasn't... But why would...
No, but people do things...
Well, that trader, so that's where I'm going.
Are you sure that...
Oh, boy.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into time? Rutherford, where would he be?
heard the Emperor was impaled on his...
We're all gonna die! You hear me?
What do you reckon we should do?
Sid!
Hard at your studies, I see. And what is that? It's not a set of scales, is it?
No. Of course it isn't.
Well, not anymore, it's not. Oh,
And just how long hasn't it been one?
we're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered them.
Just like Miss Mididol showed us.
Miss Mididol?
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Well then, your work is already half done. Carry on.
The taking apart was easy enough, but...
Speak for yourself.
You three need to learn to take responsibility for your actions. So let's have a look at these parts with fresh eyes, shall we? All right. Everything here was once part of Miss Mididol's scales. Every piece has its own role to play, and each is just as important as the others. If even one of them is missing, the scales won't work. So let's think about what those roles might be. You already know one of the pieces, the body. Its role is to support everything else. But what of the others? This is called the arm. Why do you suppose that is? It doesn't look much like an arm.
You're right. It looks more like a wing. Like a chocobo wing!
You've ridden a chocobo before, haven't you?
I'll think about it. Now, what do arms do?
Hold things. So wait, maybe this arm holds things too?
Good thinking. You're on the right track. These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan is, don't you?
I do. Molly uses them in the kitchens to fry bangers. But these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff. But what if I wanted to weigh Goots? I don't think he'd fit on that little thing.
Probably not.
What are the chains for?
Well spotted. This tiny piece.
I have. Miss Mididol's dungeon is full of them.
She puts them in all her...
That's right. They're very useful when you want to make things move. Do you remember?
I remember the arm moved when I tried weighing an apple. And then somebody ate it.
Not my fault. You should...
You know what part's supposed to move and how it's supposed to move. So, let's put the pieces together first, see what doesn't move, and then stick the cogwheel to that.
Not a bad idea. You see? It's not so difficult. So, now that we've taken stock of the parts and learned what they do, what do you think?
I think we've got...
Then here's what we'll do.
Well, obviously you need to start with the body. All the other pieces fit onto it, don't...
And the arms go on the body, just like real arms, and then the arms hold the pans by the chains.
There. All finished.
Yes!
Well...
Oh, I just put the pieces together.
That's right. We're Miss Mididol's hair.
Her hairs?
Yeah. Hairs for the future. She's showing us her secrets now, so we can help out the hideaway when we're older.
What do you think, Sid? Are you almost ready?
With a little more help from Miss Mididol and Miss Shirley.
You hear that?
Until then, though.
Hey, look!
You don't think Sid forgot about it?
all gonna die! You hear me?
I heard the Emperor was impaled on his...
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be thunder?
Well?
It was as you thought. They dismantled them to see how they worked.
Oh, no, Mid will have my...
Thankfully she won't. This might even have been her idea. Although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry, Sid. I shall see that the children are properly punished.
Please, there's no need. Mid seems to have taken the three of them under her wing. She'd have them follow in her footsteps.
I see. Sid, do you know why Mid has been spending so much...
She told me it was because her studies have...
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. In exchange for full tuition, room and board, they asked her to oversee the design of several new war engines. To anyone else it would be an opportunity, but to Mid, who lost both her parents to war, it was a bitter pill. One she was none too keen to swallow. But that should come as no surprise.
Which explains her heirs. She's working to give them a better life.
You've given them far...
Lawsman Harpocrates. I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind. It's about the book you lent Ivan.
Ah, Valisthea, a culinary pilgrim. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew.
That's actually why I'm here. I don't suppose you know where I might find skyworm livers and drake's...
Ah, so the fabled Sandbrequois delicacy is next on the menu. Delightful. The descriptions of fried mortress never fail to make my mouth water. Now, skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern, their ground livers being the paste from which the mortress is made.
Dragon livers. How very Sandbrequois.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have a touch more reverence for their icon's brethren, but I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback wyvern.
So we know where to look for our liver. But what about the drake's mint?
Saint's bonnet in contemporary part. I gather that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers by their heady scent alone. So I'm sure you'll have... I may add that people once believed game was best served with the...
Meaning that if I find one, I find the...
Best of luck, Clive. And do save me a bite once the dish...
Ivan's newest dish is a masterpiece. Once you get over the urge to gag, that is.